The Pacific Theater of World War II, seen as some of the bloodiest, most violent fighting in history. Nations locked in a fight to the death and a total war that would kill millions and devastate landscapes and civilizations across the largest battlefront in human history.
A war which, for the United States, started on a peaceful Sunday morning and ended 4.5 years later under the shadow of nuclear weapons. A war in which tactics and doctrine was written, rewritten, and tested on a scale never seen before or since, yet is often overshadowed by the European theater that occurred at the same time. The winds of war may be blowing in the Pacific again today, and that makes what happened there in the 20th century even more relevant.
Hello, everyone. I'm Seth Perrin, World War II historian and museum professional with nearly 20 years worth of experience and research in the Pacific Theater.
And I'm William Tody, retired Navy captain who steamed the very same Pacific waters for over a decade, where so many of our great World War II battles were fought.
Bill and I are kicking off a new podcast about the Pacific Theater of Operations during World War II titled The Unauthorized History of the Pacific War. In this podcast, we'll be covering the war from an angle you might not be familiar with. For example, many people know about the Guadalcanal campaign, but did you know that twice as many sailors died as did United States Marines?
We'll also cover the great leaders of the Pacific Theater, bringing to light some facts that you may not be aware of. For example, a lot of people still consider General Douglas MacArthur to be a hero. But did you know that before the war, at age 50, he took in a 16-year-old mistress? And during the war, he repeatedly changed his operational plans, resulting in the needless death of thousands of Americans?
It's not our intention to focus on the salacious, but we will expose hard historical facts that have largely been overlooked by the general public.
We hope you will join us and find our take on the Pacific War intriguing.
Again, the name of our podcast is The Unauthorized History of the Pacific War. Subscribe to the show wherever you receive your podcast and follow the video version of our show on YouTube. We hope to see you soon.